Professor English, Rangpur Government City College, Rangpur. Coronavirus has made us confined into our homes and you have been out of classes for a long time. So our Honorable Principal Sir has created a platform of online classes for you so that you can continue your studies under the proper guidance and instruction of your teachers. This is my first online class with you. So my dear students, let's start. Have a look at the next slide and try to understand what we are going to discuss. Today we will discuss a poem, the poem by this man. Do you know this man? He is an American poet born in New York. His lifespan is from 1907 to 1973. His name is W.H. Auden. I think now you can clearly understand the poem we are going to discuss. Okay, let's check. Today we are going to discuss the poem September 1, 1939. Actually the title of the poem is From September 1, 1939 by W.H. Auden. In this presentation we have two learning outcomes. By the end of this presentation you will be able to tell the meanings of the new words, and the second learning outcome is you will be able to write the theme of the poem. First look at the title of the poem, From September 1, 1939. Here you find From September 1, 1939. That is, the original poem is September 1, 1939. It's a long poem and the poem included in your syllabus is just the first stanza of the poem September 1, 1939. So the title has been used here, From September 1, 1939. First, let us know the unknown words. In this slide you find the first four lines of the poem. First we find the word dives. Do you know the meaning of this word dives? Let's see. This is the definition of dives: a restaurant, hotel, bar or place for entertainment or social activities that is unpleasant because of the condition of the building or the type of people that go there. You can use the synonymous words bars and joints. Next, uncertain. Here you find the definition: feeling doubt about something, not sure. And the antonym of uncertain is certain. You can use the synonymous words unclear, ambiguous, etc. And next, expire. Here you find the definition: if something which lasts for a fixed length of time expires, it comes to an end or stops being in use. You can use the synonymous words to die or to come to an end. These three unknown words we have defined, and now let's read the poem. I sit on one of the dives on 52nd Street, uncertain and afraid, as the clever hopes expire. We can paraphrase these four lines in this way: I sit on one of the cheap restaurants on 52nd Street and I am uncertain and afraid because the clever hopes die. In this slide we find next 5 lines of the poem. Again, let's first try to know the unknown words. Decade. Decade means 10 years. Circulate. Circulate means to flow, to go, or to spread. Darkened means gloomy, dark, or unlit. And we find another word, obsessing. Here you find the definition. If something or someone obsesses you, or if you obsess about something or someone, you think about them all the time. You can use the synonymous words preoccupy, grieve, or consume. Let's read the lines. Of a low, dishonest decade, waves of anger and fear circulate over the bright and darkened land of the earth. So, anger and fear of a low, dishonest decade. Actually, we should know the background of the poem. This poem is written in the background of the Second World War. So, the decade 1930s has been regarded as low dishonest decade. That is, the politicians and the leading personalities of the decade have been regarded as dishonest people. So anger and fear of those people spread over the bright and darkened land. Bright land means rich country, prosperous country, or the civilized country. And the darkened land means uncivilized country, uneducated country, or the dark lands or dark countries, as we find in several sources that Africa is regarded as the dark land. So, anger and fear is spread all over the world, over both the bright land and darkened land, obsessing our private lives. And all these things influence our personal lives, preoccupy our personal lives. These 5 lines of the poem can be paraphrased in this way. Waves of anger and fear of a low, dishonest decade spread all over the world and influence our personal lives. Dear students, in this slide you find the last 2 lines of the poem included in your syllabus. Again, first we will know the unknown words. Unmentionable. Look at the definition here. Too shocking or embarrassing to be mentioned or spoken about. You can use the synonymous words offensive, prohibited, or restricted. Next, odor. Odor means a smell, often not that is pleasant. A smell, often one that is unpleasant. You can use the synonymous words scent, aroma, or fragrance, smell, etc. Next, offense. Look at the definition here. To make somebody feel upset because of something you say or do that is rude or embarrassing. You can use the synonymous words upset, insult, affront, hurt somebody's feelings, be rude to. Let's read the lines. The unmentionable order of death offends the September night. Unmentionable order of death. As the poem is written in the background of a war, so war means death, and the poet here used the phrase unmentionable order of death offends the September night. Offends, upsets the September night. So These two lines can be paraphrased. And students, homework for you. Write down the meanings of the underlined words. So in this text you find some underlined words and you will write down the meaning of the words. Next, write down the theme of the poem, 50 words. You will write down the theme of the poem in 50 words. Thank you, my dear students. That's all for this day. I am finishing with the expectation of your views and comments. Very soon I will upload a new class on the topic you want to be discussed. Thanks once again. Thank you.